Hello guys, here I am. This video is just for who is approaching these triathlon races, for example the Ironman, for the first time, and I would like to explain what I did wrong in my 3 races to avoid that you will do the same. So I've just raced 2 full Ironman in Hamburg, one this year 2022 and another one the previous year, and 170.3 in Cervia in Italy, basically 1 month ago. Okay, first ever suggestion or advice is never try for the first time something on the day of the race. This is good both for what you are wearing and also for what you are eating. Let's start to give you an example. In Hamburg, the first Ironman, it was windy, it was raining and also quite cold. The temperature was around 16 degrees. And while I was training on the bicycle 2 days before, honestly I had a moment in which I couldn't control anymore my mouth, or I was shivering in all my body, because after hours of rains, cold, wind and whatever, you sometimes can have this shock. So I went to a special store for triathlon, and what I bought this Gore-Tex pant, short pants, that you can wear above your suit, no? But what was the problem of this that I found out along the race? The super noise situation that I had for all the portion of the bike that annoyed me a lot. I bought this neoprene tubes that you have to insert from your foot until your ankle to prevent the water to go into your shoes. We can say fantastic, but honestly I tested them as I did for the Gore-Tex pants, but I tested just for 1 or 2 kilometers. But when you keep them for 180, then you find out that these are really having an impact on the movement of your ankle and your feet. So they were not nice for me to wear for all the race, and at the end I had a kind of pain in one of my knee. Another item that I bought last year was this beautiful jacket from Santini. That is beautiful. It's done to prevent against wind and rain. But since I was not too used to this, I had a kind of feeling on my neck that I needed air, because this was so tight on me and I felt not comfortable during the race. So this is just an example, that 3 items that I bought I haven't tried, but I used on the day of the race, and honestly it was something not good for me. Let's talk about the nutrition, and that I do suggest to talk with an expert on this. But I can say when I was training, quite a lot for both of the 2 Ironman races, I basically needed something that I could add to a normal eating routine. I went to a pharmacy, I asked for suggestions, and the best that I found is this Sango Coralle that a friend of mine, expert of nutrition, suggested me. Is absolutely natural, is composed by magnesio and calcio, and this is giving you what you need when you are really pushing so much for a lot of, let's say, weeks or months. And I was taking 3 pills every day. With this I did, for example, my last race, and that was super perfect. But what I did wrong instead, in the second Ironman I used this tablet, Magnum K Forte, and they are without sugar. That can be positive, but the taste is terrible. So I've taken 2 plus some of these pills roux that you have just to keep in your mouth. Those are done to prevent the stress of the muscles and blah blah blah. But what happened to me in the second race, probably a mix of these pills that I was not used to use during my training, but I used during the race, caused me a problem in my stomach. Because when I finished the bicycle, I was very, very, very thirsty. The water that they were giving you at the aid station, the water was, in my opinion, very cold. However, put together everything, and after the 9th kilometers of the marathon, I had to walk for a long time because I had a congestion in my stomach. So it was difficult for me to breathe, and I had to relax to be able to manage the situation. Of course, there is something super bad because you have trained for months and months, and now you are on your race and you have a congestion in your stomach. This is absolutely not nice. So be careful about what you are eating. Talk with a nutrition expert, but for the most, never try something new on the day of the race. Check the athlete guide where you, for example, you can clearly read not only what you can eat but also what you can drink and what they are giving you along the bicycle portion, along the marathon portion, in the aid stations. And for example, there are the gels that are from Mauer 10, okay, and I tested them in the first Ironman, but if you are not used to them, they are clearly writing, never try this for the first time on the race day. And this is absolutely true, because for example in the second Ironman I've just taken them, and the result is that I was super thirsty, okay, and I was not remembering exactly this. Another point they are using in the Ironman races the 226ers energy bars. Honestly, I was using my own energy bars that you can carry with you on the bicycle or in your changing bags, so it's fine. But if you want to use those energy bars, at least test them before in your training. Said this, that I feel is the most important advice that I can tell you. So never try something new, both on what you are wearing and also on what you are eating. You have to know everything. You have to get used to what is good for you, and don't change anything in the race day. I can say just some simple tricky points that I did wrong. For example, this is a normal run gear bag, right? That usually you put your things inside, then you hang in that way. Very simple. But in Hamburg it was raining the first Ironman, and of course if it's raining, the rain is going into your bag. So a guy just beside me suggested me to do a special knot on the bag, no, to prevent the water to go into, and that was super cool. But when I was there the day after, you are coming out from the water, for example, or from the bicycle, you are in the situation, right? For me it was difficult to unknot his knot, and I lost several seconds for this. Just an example, but put attention. If you want to be sure that you are closing in a special way your bag, that's super cool, but at least be aware how to unknot quickly this. For the goggles, no? Usually when you wear a wetsuit, I use a Vaseline in my back to avoid the friction, no, of the closing of the wetsuit. But for example, in the third race, I had still my hands probably dirty of this Vaseline, and I touched my lens on my goggles, and goodbye. I mean, it was somehow very, very difficult or impossible to clean them immediately after, because I was basically there among the people. You are waiting to start, you don't have your normal tools that you have in your home, right? So avoid to touch with your fingers, dirty or Vaseline, the lens of your goggle. At least this is what happened to me. Another thing, this is an elastic band that is done to hang your bib, your number, and in a simple way you basically wear this on your hip. But what is the point? The point is that all the items that they give you when you are registering yourself, this is not present. So this you need to have by yourself. This can be found, or of course in the expo or in the village Ironman, or if you just go in a normal store specialized in triathlon, probably they can give you this as a gadget, no, as a complimentary if you buy something. But remember, you need this, okay? Another little suggestion for the bicycle: when you leave your bicycle, when you're doing the check-in, remember to set a low gear, because of course you are starting from scratch, and if the gear is simple, you can start easily. And the last point is this: I suggest to keep your shoes on the pedal of your bicycle, because when I was in Cervia, I changed myself during the T1. I was going to my bicycle, I had my shoes on my hands like this, and a referee was angry. She said, you have to wear them, you can't run with those shoes in your hand. However, I was wearing my shoes, and of course I was running much slower, no, with those shoes, because it was not easy, right? They are done for the cleat of the pedal. So the next time I will just keep my shoes on the bicycle and I will run barefoot, okay? And I did when I was coming back from the bicycle portion. I left my shoes there and I ran barefoot for the T2. Okay, these are just my suggestion after 3 races. Of course, read the athlete guide that is telling you all the details of your penalties, what you cannot do, where are the aid stations, what they can give you during all the portion of the race, where are the penalty box. Everything is explained in a super well way. Plus, if you are really into what you are doing, find a nutrition expert, and if you want a coach for your training, and for sure this can help. I just told you what I did wrong, that can be summarized again for the last time. Never try something new during the day of the race. Okay, have fun, and we'll see you the next time. If you have any question, you can write in the comments, and I will write my best to give you an answer for what I know. Okay, have fun, and I'll see you the next time. Ciao.